Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
From Asthma Core Studios near Detroit, Michigan, it's Unregimented.
Gangsters, what's up, guys?
And now, here are your hosts.
All right, well, welcome to Unregimented for Monday, March 23rd. I'm Chris.
I'm Aaron.
And I'm Rich.
And hey, a whole bunch of stuff is new. Why not? Let's have this. Let's add to it, right? Here's something new for you. We're going to do this Monday through Friday while we're all locked in our houses. Because why not?
Well, yeah, because people need content.
Yeah. It only,
Rich needs his bag of cookies opened or something. What is
No, I'm
that?
just putting
You got enough to share with the class?
Yeah, but I don't
We're
have carrier
quarantined.
pigeons. I don't have carrier pigeons to send them to you guys. One of you assholes got a medical card, so hey, go get it yourself.
Aaron, I will say, it only took a week for my wife was going, there's nothing to watch. I'm like, are you serious? We have so much TV. You cannot find something to watch today?
I finally started watching Schitt's Creek.
Oh, it's great. It's good, isn't it?
It's good, yeah. I just started season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be a segment on an episode here. Our recommendations for the apocalypse.
Oh, we could do that.
What to sit back and watch?
Yeah. If you get any of you guys watched that? What is it? I forget. It's about Joe Exotic, the tiger one yet? We did that one 2 days ago.
I keep hearing about it, but
Joe,
Tiger
is this a
King.
sports thing?
It's on Netflix.
I understand all these words that you say, but just not in this context.
Do you recall
what's
when
Joe Exotic?
When John Oliver during the 2016
Joe Cool's cooler cousin.
Remember the guy with like the mullet and the tigers that was like running for president?
To spice up the peanuts in the 90s, and like it was Snoopy with the backwards baseball cap and sunglasses, skateboard.
Right. Well, no, if you remember, John Oliver did a
Every
segment
time
on
that
him.
Joe Exotic is not in the scene, people should be asking, "Where's Joe Exotic?"
Yeah. But John Oliver did a piece on him in the 2016 election. He's got like a two-tone mullet, like the top of it's blonde, the bottom of it's brown. He used to run like
Vaguely familiar.
Yeah, he used to be like the curator of like an exotic animal zoo. And I give you one guess, what state? One and only guess.
Florida?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he get eaten by a tiger?
No, but I can't even explain this.
Did he fuck the tiger?
This miniseries. No, he's gay, and there's like this whole thing where they think he killed an animal rights activist's husband or something like that. I don't.
Oh wow,
dude, it's nuts. Right now, it's like number 2 on Netflix.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it is. The whole time you're just thinking like, "Yup, Florida." It's interesting.
Well, hey, if you're looking for stuff to watch, I guess you can always watch a Trump press conference. Those are suddenly happening left and right.
Every day. I wish he could settle on a time. Because they seem to be whenever he wants to, every day.
Whenever Trump is feeling in the mood.
Yeah.
I didn't see any of today's. How was he in general? Did you watch any of it? Was he calm? Was he?
Yeah, because he's reading mostly.
Sedated? Oh, so it was sedated Trump.
Yeah. It was. I'm reading from this piece of paper. But I don't
what
mind
I heard
him.
from Twitter about it is that it seemed like it was less of a press conference to inform the press and more of an opportunity to keep the president in one room so they could inform him about some things.
Kind of. There was a few times where it's like, hey, you want to answer this? To a couple people.
Please.
I got to give him credit. There are some situations where he's like, I don't know, you answer. I got to at least give him credit for that. I don't know, and he turns it over to the attorney to the Surgeon General. Like, yeah, you answer this. No clue.
Right. As a matter of fact, couldn't you just stop moderating, Mr. President, and we can just push you off to the side and we can talk to the real experts here?
Well, I think I told you guys on the last show, I'd like that Pence seems to be the adult in the room at these things. When Trump gets off track, Pence just jumps on the microphone. Like I have to say, in the last week, I have garnered some respect for the vice president because the vice president appears to be the adult in the room at these things.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a low bar.
Well, yeah.
He's acting
like he's supposed to.
Human.
Yeah. But I don't have a problem with, like, I saw a Washington Post editorial, like, Trump needs to stop these. I'm like, no, he doesn't. I hate to. We are in a time of crisis. I'm sorry. I want to hear from the president every day. I don't care if I agree with him or not. I want to hear from the president every day. If you don't have to watch. You don't like it, tune in afterwards, or you can fast forward. Like,
I mean, it seems to be working. He seems to be calmer. He seems to be more kind of on message.
Well, I think he's realized something like this you can't shoot from the hip from, because science will come back and fuck you.
So this would be the first thing that Trump has realized, that it's not cool to shoot from the hip when making decisions on.
Yeah, he still does it.
Like everything else, international policy, nuclear war, our economy, everything else is fine shooting from the hip. But the invisible germ, somehow we got through to him on.
Maybe Anthony Fauci took him in a room and yelled at him. He said, "You got to listen to me on this. Shut up."
Yeah. You guys are you're adding too many layers to it. It's simple as he makes dumb decisions, and most of the time it doesn't affect the lives of the people standing around him.
Yeah.
He shoots from the hip and makes dumb decisions in this situation. It affects the lives of the people standing around him and everyone they love. So they finally learned the power of pulling Trump aside and going, shut the fuck up and read the script. You're a fucking reality show host. We'll replace you. We replaced Kennedy. Now go talk, bitch.
Wait, I still can't believe that somebody actually said that to him. But yeah, I get your point, though.
Hey, it's time for you to be a host. Do what a host does. Read this.
If it ain't been said to him, and he's stomping around like he's King Trump, it's been talked about behind his back. Believe me, he'll get sick if he starts fucking up and doing dumb shit. I'm sorry, this is too serious. This is no time for bullshit, and there's people in the government who understand that, and believe me, they understand it better than he does. That's the scary part. He should understand this more than anybody else. But to his credit, once again, that's not giving him much, but to his credit, he does seem to be taking it more serious, and he does seem to be on script. And I mean, what more could you ask from the man?
Well, and I said, when he jumps off, when he starts, me and my wife see it all. We've seen it a couple times now. He'll start going off and start on his little New York Times fake news, and then Pence just right away just grabs the microphone from him and tries to get the conversation back to what they were talking about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he still has his episodes.
Yes, I'm not.
Who is the guy the other day that asked him? He said, "You're addressing the American people. What would you say to the citizens out there who are scared right now?"
Yeah, I was watching that live.
And Trump's response was, "That's a very nasty question. You work for a fake news organization."
Hey man, I'll back up people when they ask shitty questions. That wasn't a shitty question.
Like straight across the plate. It was one of those classic questions that we used to get in press conferences where, hey, you know what? We know that you have a message for the American people. Why don't you tell us what that message is, Mr. President?
Trust me.
It was as much of a layup as a guest host on a variety show coming out. Oh, I didn't know you were going to show up. Why didn't you tell us what you've been up to?
Trust me, I like to think I'm one of the people on this podcast that will call out a shitty question from a journalist no matter what. That was not a shitty question. That was, hey man, there's some people out there that are scared. What do you have to say to them? And he just launches into attacking this guy. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? And that's
what Trump hears is that, oh, people are scared, and you're saying they're scared because I'm doing a bad job.
Yeah. And that was one of the times where I saw Pence grab the microphone. Like, Jesus Christ, shut up, idiot. Go over here. The adult needs to talk now. He hasn't been perfect. And stuff like that. Like today, he even started going off on how the veterans love him. Like, shut up, nobody fucking cares.
Well, let's put this in perspective too. I'm not doing on this day he became presidential.
Yeah.
Like, this is Trump's becoming barely tolerable. He's doing the bare minimum at being competent at this one aspect of his job.
Please just let me think you're competent. That's kind of where I'm at. I'm with you.
Yeah. Yes. Just be good enough so that I can lie to myself when I go to sleep tonight.
Be good enough so I'm not scared.
Yeah. Just lie to me. Just lie to me well for once.
Yeah, it's like that song by Johnny Lang, Lie to Me. Tell me everything is all right.
Well, what was the gist of this latest press conference, though? There was
the military aid.
Right. Which is not martial law, which is not, tanks rolling down the streets. It's not a complete lockdown, although we might be approaching that.
I think this week it's going to be cities and states. I predicted travel last week, which I'm still outraged as to why is commercial travel still allowed? How did this thing get here? It left China. It's right in front of us. Anyway, but I think this week's going to be cities. It's going to be because I could tell you. I could tell you that it's not really breaking news.
I don't wait, what do you mean?
Kansas City's going into lockdown on Tuesday. I'm saying it's going to start with, like we saw California go into lockdown Thursday. We saw New York go into lockdown Friday or Saturday. I think this week you're going to start seeing individual cities or more states going into lockdown. Illinois went into lockdown or shelter in place.
Our terms, yes, shelter in place specifically. Lockdown means by law, like curfew. Yeah. You're not allowed to come out. We're going to arrest you if we find you wandering out without a purpose.
Fair enough.
That's a lockdown.
But we've even changed for shelter at home since the last time we got together. It's now safer at home is what they've turned it into. Yes, because
the administration?
No, Illinois started it, and now California and New York are co-opting it. So they think it's word napping. It makes it sound prettier than shelter in place. Yeah, it's like what Rich was talking about Thursday, where they just pretty up the same shit.
We practice the gentle art of soft language. Make you feel safe.
Yeah. So we've gotten rid of the active shooter language, and now it's safer at home.
I think what we're gonna have is you're gonna have certain states that are just gonna say, okay, everything's locked down. Period. End of story. You can only go out between these hours and these hours for necessities. And that's it. I think what you're going to have in other states is a voluntary, but not really, like a military, you've been ordered to volunteer type shit. I think that's what's going to happen in the Metro Detroit area. If you look, most stores that were 24 hours are now closing at 8 or 9 o'clock. I think some gas stations are closing, like in the middle of the night. So, I mean, once 7-Elevens...
people are going anywhere. That's one thing that dawned on me today is, man, gas stations got to be fucked right now. Gas down to $1.70. They're empty when you drive past them.
I got gas for $1.59 about 3 days ago.
Nice.
But
it's 2005 gas prices.
I wish I could have enjoyed it. That'd have been nice to enjoy it.
Well, you're going to enjoy it, but it'll be in your tank for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I filled up my tank for less than $20 the other day, and then I parked my car in the garage, and it hasn't left since.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, today I realized I put gas in my car 10 days ago, and I'm still on that same tank. So yeah.
But no, I think that's what's going to happen in some states. I think it all depends on who's in charge and what they feel the demeanor in general of the people in their state are going to tolerate, and what they're not, and what language they can use. Which just proves that y'all a bunch of bitches in New York and California for all that tough talk. They just come in and here's a big old government weenie. Suck it and shut up.
Do you find it ironic that that California was the first state to tell people to stay at home? Well, isn't that interesting? With all but also too, I was telling my mom today. This is her birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. Well, she don't listen. That I don't agree that New York State and California should be locked down, but put whatever, safer at home. But I think New York City and Los Angeles definitely should have. Like New York City, there's 10 million people in that small little spot, man.
Right? Yeah, you're saying lock down the big cities, not the whole state.
Correct. Or actually, I was telling my mom, quite honestly, anything that touches an ocean that's got an international port. Sorry, East Coast. Sorry, West Coast. You go first. You have the international ports. You have the international airports. Sorry. Right now, on March 22nd at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, someone with coronavirus can get on a plane in New York City and come to Detroit. Why? Why is it still allowed?
That one's got me scratching my head.
I'm sorry, airlines. We'll figure it out. We bailed out the auto industry. We'll figure you out. That's how this thing got out of China. I still don't understand that. And my wife is probably tired of hearing me complain about it. Stop all commercial travel. It's not that hard. This one seems to be Occam's razor. But whatever. I'm just a guy in a basement.
Well, from what I understand, certain states are stopping you at the border. Do you live in the state?
That's very man in the high castle of them.
Why are you coming into the state? Are you sick? You know what I'm saying? Like basically treating the state borders like, not an international border as far as you need paperwork to get through, but I mean, if that's...
Are you allowed to do that? I mean, I'm not questioning the
when you shut
logic behind it, but do they have legal backing to stop a citizen from crossing state lines, even just from being sick?
When they shut a state down, like Ohio, they quarantine it. And I mean, if you really think about it, every state we touch is quarantined,
except Indiana.
For the UP.
Is Indiana quarantined?
I believe so.
Damn, we're surrounded.
So it's like, yeah, if that's or they just don't need to. If that's the case, and we can't get out of the state because they're, stopping people at the border. And as to the legality of it, if the state's locked down, I don't know if that, you know how it is, they're rights until they're suspended. Even though the government doesn't give us our rights are just, human rights, but somehow they can take them away when they decide, it's easier to control us that way. So
I think that's the thing, too, right now in a pandemic. I think there's going to be a lot of people who don't give a shit. Hell yeah, you can ask people. Hell yeah, you can stop people at the border.
Dude, there's plenty
of people that was another thing
everyday life
that the Trump administration was looking at, was suspending habeas corpus, like just suspending basic due process during this outbreak.
As a chill goes through the podcast. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I've only been hearing the opposite, but it doesn't shock me that I've been hearing the opposite. And the opposite is they're letting people who are sitting there and are in on cash bail who can't afford it out, nonviolent crimes. They're letting out, suspending people who do work release, come in on the weekends, go to work.
Yeah, no, I've been hearing a lot of that as well.
And I mean, I'm sure that those are feel good stories in a way, because it's like, oh, okay, all right. Yeah, so we don't have to worry about people coming and going into prison and the local jails and getting people sick. That's already happened, though.
Yes.
That's a given. Listen to Charlie LaDuff's podcast.
But
it'll open your eyes.
Maybe this is one of the things that we'll learn from this tragedy. Maybe that it's just not worth locking up masses of people if they're going to be, major disease vectors. And also because it's just inhumane. And we lock up way too many nonviolent criminals in this country anyway. Gosh, wouldn't that be great if one of the industries really hit hard was the prison industrial complex? Could we bankrupt some of those motherfuckers already? But like they wouldn't get bailed out, though.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Right. Cruise ships are going to get bailed out. Here's me thinking that the prisons aren't going to get bailed out.
Right.
No, that's the scary thing. Like, I'm thinking like, oh shit, man. How long is this? How long and who is going to be left standing at the end of this? Is it going to be literally major, like 5-6 major worldwide corporations standing at the end with like maybe a handful per major city of mom pop organizations that could weather the 2-3 month shutdown?
Oh, there's going to be a lot of industries that come out in a different form out of this, I think.
Absolutely. But, there's been a lot of support for, I follow on Twitter a lot of comic book creators, a lot of people who support smaller bookstores and stuff like that. That community has just been fantastic and doing its best to support each other. I mean, obviously, if you don't know anything about the direct market for comic books and the small comic book stores all across the country, that's a business that's been like hanging on by a thread for a long time now. So there's definitely going to be small businesses that comic book shop, small businesses that go under and aren't going to be able to recover from this. But there's also been a lot of people spreading the word about how you can still get your comics, and a lot of places are doing curbside pickups and shipping. And the only reason I don't want to necessarily talk about the comic book industry, but I'm just using that as an example as to how people are coming together to make sure these businesses that they enjoy are supported. And in the day of social media and Patreon and being able to support directly businesses in these more powerful ways, and even creators and artists in these direct ways, I don't know. I think that, there's definitely going to be businesses that suffer, but I don't know that it's necessarily going to be big businesses coming in and taking advantage of this and wiping out competition. I think you're more likely to see the medium business, like the theater chains, right? Or kind of in between. Theaters are another one. Theaters are very comparable to comic book shops when you look at how razor thin their profit margins are, how their business is done, and how easily that can be interrupted. But theater chains don't have that same type of buy-in from the consumers. Like, I'm not going to donate money to my local AMC. They can suck a dick.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Discovery Plus is the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Woohoo! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love. Of all the streaming services out there, only one is different. Discovery Plus. It's the greatest collection of real-life entertainment on the planet. 55,000 episodes of food, love, true crime, home, from networks like TLC, HGTV, and tons more. Yes! With stars like Chip and Jo, an exclusive new series from 90 Day Fiancé, all in one place. Bam! Discovery Plus. Stream now. Stream what you love.
ChristopherMedia.net.
Unregimented.
What Aaron's saying is right now buy local, because that can kind of help us pivot nicely into the local. Your local businesses right now
it's
need
a good idea, but
restaurants and any type of shops.
Yes.
They're going to need your support because I also wonder, there's another part of this conversation too. I wonder how many people are going to be told in a few months, hey, we've operated without your position for the last 4 months and we're going to continue to do it permanently. Our economy is going to be in a different spot after the next 4 months. And so just support local stuff, support your local restaurants. If you've had places that have converted to curbside or carry out, do it. Go there. If you want them to be around after this.
There's actually I'm not exactly sure. I just saw a mention of it like maybe 40 minutes before we started recording. I think it's pretty much here in Metro Detroit, but you can do it anywhere you are that has places that do curbside pickup and carry out. It's like Takeout Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. Because
go to the local business. Don't go to the fucking McDonald's drive-thru. I mean, unless it's a local franchise.
Today, Michigan extended the restaurants and bars till April 13th.
Yeah.
So they tacked another week onto it now.
Yep.
That they're state law required to remain closed and only do carry out and delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and the quote unquote quarantine, the self quarantine that me and the people I'm with are at or in, we just got extended to the 2nd.
Oh shit! So that's really going down. Like you can't go to work. Like that's really happening for you.
I haven't been to work in almost a week.
Damn.
It was Monday. Was the last day. Yeah.
So that became a reality, huh?
Oh yeah. Oh, most definitely. I mean, and it's without getting too specific. I work with younger people who think they're invulnerable, and that's fine. I've got some underlying health conditions, and I have something at the moment. I don't know what it is because it hasn't progressed beyond just not feeling great and having just a rundown bleh feeling.
Yeah.
It's been going on for like 5 days, and I got a little bit of a sore throat, but I don't have a dry cough.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard
it's allergy season, and everybody's been like stuck inside. And, like everybody I've talked to is like, oh, I feel like I'm coming down with something. I'm like, it's like allergies, or you're just sick of being inside. Like,
Rich, from what I've heard, this thing runs through you in a week. So I'm not a doctor, But from what I've heard, this thing goes through you in about 7 days.
Well, if that's the case, then I have the most mild symptoms of, like, I am like one hair above asymptomatic. I have to be.
Like everything I've read, in a week, it come and goes. It comes on, it does it to you for a week, and then bounces.
But I mean, if it, like I said, one of the people I stay with, there was a couple people who tested positive at his work. It's kind of a voluntary thing. Everybody quarantine yourselves till we figure out what's going on. We get more tests, and they're doing a deep cleaning of his work. So, yeah, I called my work and I let them know what's going on. I'm like, look, here's the deal. Even if I am asymptomatic, what are we doing to keep from, maybe passing this on to the customers? And it's just like,
oh no,
they're young. They're like, oh, I ain't worried about it. Or the customer's giving it to us. I ain't worried about it. I'm young. I'll bounce back. Okay, I hope so.
Cool. We said it on Thursday. I'll say it again. Do you not have parents? Do you not have grandparents? You fucking idiots. Like, I'd explain to my mom today, it's her birthday. I was like, no hugs, Mom. Why? It's for you, Mom. And I even told her, like, this is the last time you're going to see me till Thursday because I'm going grocery shopping after this. Yeah, I had to explain. She thinks I'm overreacting, and I'm explaining to her, like, everything I'm doing is because it's for you. I told her, I already buried one of you. There's already one of you in the ground. Let's let time have its natural with you. Let's not hurry it up. All right? It's just how it is. It's for older people, you dipshits.
Well, I will say this. I did talk to a family member who lives in Florida, and they are older, and they think we're out of our minds. Like, up here. They're like, why, really? Like, they're closing the beaches and the bars and stuff down here, and it's just like, really? Is that necessary? And I'm thinking,
Florida's going to be our Italy.
Yes.
Florida's going to be our Italy. Because that's one of the things I found out about Italy is Italy's got Europe's oldest population. That's part of the problem. Mm-hmm. Florida's going to turn into our Italy because the governor down there, despite what we said on Thursday, did not close the beaches. He just sent all the fucking college kids home. Like, Florida I know it's cliche, but doesn't Florida have an older population than most of the United States? Like Florida and Arizona? Don't they have high concentrations of elderly people?
Of retired people, yeah.
In a recent poll, they tracked people's anxiety about coronavirus and what major news organizations they predominantly follow. And you can see,
I know where this is
look at a list that goes all the way from, like, in the 80s, from people who were watching MSNBC to 37%, I think it was, for Fox News viewers, right? So all of this turn that Trump has done in being, quote unquote, presidential and being more calm, it's really just for the benefit of all the liberals that are freaking out over the fact that we are experiencing this epidemic under Trump as our president. And I think that all the MAGAs that are saying that this is all, they're still saying it's a hoax. They're not listening to their president. They think that when President Trump, that's why he does that voice when he reads, right? Because it's coded. And I know this sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, this is what I believe. He has his regular, like, Trump shooting from the hip voice that he usually uses, and that's when he's telling you like it is. And then when he has his I'm reading my official message voice, that voice is intended to tell his hardcore supporters, you guys know what's really up. This message is for the general people who can't handle the truth.
As someone who has been watching him for a week, yeah, I agree with you on that. Absolutely. He's got. So I'm just reading from this paper, very monotone, blah blah blah. And then
if he was doing his regular script, you can tell it. Type of thing.
You can tell it. He's got another tone in his voice. He's got like a swagger to him. Like he all of a sudden turns into a different person. You can see it. Mandy and I have been joking about it all week. Oh, he's off the script. You could tell.
And to a Trump supporter that tells him, oh, that's Trump being, quote unquote, on message. He's doing what his staff is telling him. They're telling him, good things that he needs to do to get reelected and all that. That's not really the truth, though. We know the truth is what Trump was telling us when he was shooting from the hip, and that this is all just going to blow over and everybody's overreacting. So whatever fumbling of this pandemic that Trump has done in the early days, the damage is done. Like, the best he can do is help to keep some liberals from absolutely losing their minds.
Well, Darwin will kick in at some point, right? Maybe we'll free up some of that Social Security money. As bad as that sounds to say.
Okay, but this is about herd immunity, right? Like, we might disagree politically, but we're all still part of the same herd.
That's true. Still going to have to go to the grocery store with you idiots.
The virus isn't going to specifically go, where's the red hats at?
Yeah. Which, by the way, I went grocery shopping today. Nice social distancing, everybody. Apparently it doesn't matter if you're in somebody's way of something they want to get. I swear to God, I was at the grocery store today. Oh. I was like fucking like someone in the aisle. I'm like diving out of the way. Like, holy shit, a person. But meanwhile, if I'm like in somebody's way, like people don't give a shit. They get all up in your grill to get something. Like, okay. Are we not watching the news? Cool.
Well, I went to Aldi's today and they had signs up about keeping your distance, and they even took out the dividers on the conveyor so that you can't crowd in, behind the person in front of you and start loading your groceries. You have to wait. They put their groceries on the conveyor. All their stuff goes through. They check out, and then the next person does so.
Which I probably looked. I mean, I was behind a pregnant woman today when in line. I was like fucking 20 feet away from her. Hey, how's it going? You're pregnant. I ain't getting anywhere near you.
It is amazing, the lack of situational awareness some people have. The few times I have gone out in the last handful of days, there's people I'm like, I turned around and just stared at a guy. He was probably 1.5 feet from behind me. I just turned and just stared at him like dead in his fucking face. And finally he looked and he blinked and whoa, and he backed up a few feet. And I'm like, well, I guess that's the best I can expect without starting to fight.
Yeah, trust me, I'm starting to perfect my what part of 6 feet don't you understand look. Does this look like 6 feet to you? Like I'm starting to perfect that with just looking at people.
I think my absolute favorite was there was one of those lottery shits. That's what I call them. Those people that come in and fucking dominate the clerk's time for the next 15 minutes with their bullshit. Okay, I want a 314 played straight box, blah, blah, blah. And then I want 976 played, and then 534. And just, oh my fucking God. Just go over there, dude. Get out of the way. We got a line of people forming. And this guy said, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. And like two guys in front of me, he goes, and all he does is scoot over like a foot, right? And he's going through all these lottery slips. And the guy's trying to like conduct his business quickly and get out of there. And the guy going through his lottery slips. Oh. And then covers his mouth with his lottery slips and starts coughing. I'm like, I just turn around and walk the fuck out. I'm like, I'll find another gas station. Seriously, dude.
It's funny, today I coughed out loud and I didn't think about it, and Meyer, and I didn't cover my mouth, and I went, oh no! And then I heard this couple laugh at me, which I was glad they had a sense of humor about it, because I realized I didn't cover my mouth. Because it was just like kind of like, oh, I got some spit in my mouth cough. I really didn't, in my throat cough. I didn't really think about it. Like I realized, oh shit, I just coughed without covering my mouth in public. I'm going to get shot.
Right, it's one of more of those just kind of clearing your throat coughs, not like you're having a coughing fit.
Yeah. And then I said, I have asthma. Put my elbow over it. Like, oh, shit. I'm going to get slide tackled.
I'm coughing a little bit right now, but I'm not sick. I just have asthma, and I have to cough every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do. People just immediately look at you like you're going to get them sick.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stifle it.
Meanwhile,
you try and stifle your cough, then they really think that you're sick. Like, that guy's going to die, and he doesn't want anyone to know. You're like the guy who got bit by the zombie and is trying not to let him see his sweat.
Yeah.
No, this is the bullshit that pisses me off. Okay, you got 4 thoughts rolling in a pack, obviously going out to do something. All right.
Wait, 4 thoughts?
Thoughts. THOT.
That's how you say hose in 2020, Aaron.
I got you. You're using lingo. Okay, go on.
Okay, and they're buying these White Claws and shit. And they'll gather together and and giggle and laugh. But if you walk in and go, they look at you like you just walked into a fucking Klan rally dressed like Boy George. And it's like, what the fuck is your... Seriously, there's 4 of you in a liquor store. Does it really take 4 of you to carry out all the liquor you're going to buy? I'm going to go ahead and say no. I'm going to say probably 2 of those drinks get your fucking legs in the air. Okay, so we could have whittled this down to 1. I clear my throat. You look at me like I'm the carrier, patient zero of the Black Death here. Fuck off. Seriously. Get your idiot asses up there. Where are you going in a group anyways during quarantine?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, you saw some bitches that pissed you off.
Jesus Christ. Like seriously, and it could have been dude bros. I don't care. It's like, really? A bunch of y'all? Really? And then you look at me because I go, why I'm in line?
And we're just speaking to the irony of them roaming in packs. And you looking at him for clearing his throat.
Yeah, but no one cares.
Well, look, today I was... Right? I know I'm middle-aged now because today I was like, there's an irresponsible amount of traffic out on Gratiot right now. It looked like a regular Sunday. It's like, where? First of all, where are you going? And second of all, like, are we not watching the news?
Honestly, to be brutally honest with you, I think you probably got a lot of husbands and wives who are getting ready to snap. Where like gas is cheap, I can just drive, keep my windows rolled up, and just drive and get the fuck out the house, away from the kids and the wife, and it's the safest thing to do at this moment. It really is to get out of the house.
A lot of marriages are going to be tested. A lot of marriages are going to be tested with this shit. My wife and I have already joked. Think we're going to make it? I'm like,
a lot of marriages are going to come up short.
Yeah. I already told Mandy, like, we spend way more time than the average husband and wife. We're going to be fine. It's I've already seen plenty of things on Facebook of, like, families screaming at each other in the caption of day number 2. You know, it is, yeah. A lot of families are going to be tested, marriages, a lot of divorces. AA is going to be booming this fall. but so are maternity wards. Probably also domestic violence cases, because there's no sports. That's a real thing. My wife educated me on that one. When there's no sports, women get beat. There are statistics to prove it. Now all the sports are canceled. Yikes. Anyway.
That's right.
That's a sunny note.
I keep forgetting that all the sports are canceled.
All of them, dude. All of them. Every single one of them.
I think my favorite...
We're all locked in the house. We can't watch them.
I think my favorite, we're desperate for something to report on in sports story that I saw today was a little blurb on social media from ESPN, and it wasn't the typical, because there's a big story in sports going on right now. Tom Brady signed with a different team. If you're a sports fan, you know that's a big story. It's really the only thing to talk about still, except Canada to pull out of the 2020 Olympics. Wait a minute, this is still a thing? How are the 2020 Olympics even still being talked about to go ahead with? That's what I said.
Now, they got together, I think, to start talking about canceling them.
Oh, because the world's going to be back perfectly fine by August?
Right. They're betting on Elon Musk fixing all this.
Wait, he's going to make masks. Him and Tim Cook.
He's going to make masks. I thought he was going to do ventilators.
Oh, that's what, yeah. Him and Tim Cook are going to make ventilators.
Both. I know that, GM is already looking at producing ventilators.
Whatever we got to do.
Yeah, but I don't know. I guess of course, every time that Elon gets involved in something, though, people got to bitch about it. I don't know why.
Well, I told you, for me, like how I viewed Elon at the beginning of 2019 versus how I viewed him at the end of 2019. There's a little bit of fall from grace with Elon for me in 2019. He went from smart genius to eccentric genius real quick.
Well, he went from being rich and not outspoken to being rich and outspoken. So he let everybody know that he was an idiot.
Yeah.
Rather than keeping his mouth closed and just having everyone assume that he must be smart. He's rich. I mean, an idiot is a relative term, right? He's obviously not a complete moron. He's just really smart about certain things and completely dumb about everything else. He's more autistic than anything, I think.
It's true. Yeah, he's the
But
weird
I'm sure
kid.
this, like, if anything, this will be entertaining, right? Elon's going to make a bunch of respirators, and then somebody will complain about the quality of respirators, and then he'll call him a child molester, and it'll all be on Twitter.
What will ludicrous mode look like with a ventilator from him? Just blows your lungs up immediately.
Now, if you really want to breathe fast,
Yeah. Hit this ludicrous button.
Unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
Unregimented.
So hey, before we wrap, we lost the gambler.
Kenny Rogers.
Wait, Kenny Rogers was the gambler?
Yeah,
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's right. He did the "No One to Hold Them" song.
he did.
Yeah.
So here's what I wonder. People our age, we remember at least the tail end of his career being like in kind of the spotlight. Like he was
Sure.
pretty much reduced to duets by the time we were kids, right?
Yeah, he was.
But they were
Islands in the
still all
Stream.
over the radio. Yeah, you couldn't get away from some of those songs,
Yeah, and like people.
no matter how hard you tried.
But She Believes in Me and Lady were still on like soft rock radio when we were kids.
Wasn't Lady covered by Lionel Richie?
No.
Didn't he cover it? No. I swore Lady was covered by him. I thought it was like one of those things like for a while.
No, but Kenny Rogers sounded pretty black on that track.
Well, the thing I'm thinking is, okay, so the younger generation, do they know him from the Kenny Rogers on Mad TV?
Hey, I'm Kenny Rogers. This is Kenny Rogers, jackass. Will Sasso.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny Rogers Roasters. Is his company even around still?
Well, I think from Seinfeld, that's where a lot of the younger people will know it from Kenny Rogers Roasters.
People who watch Seinfeld first run ain't
It's a
young
weird
anymore. Dude.
definition, though, of young people.
Yeah, they're not young anymore,
yeah,
man.
true.
No, the young people, they know him from Mad TV and Seinfeld, right?
Well, no, but like to the
Well, Mad
millennials,
TV
Seinfeld is
Mad TV
like is classic TV.
And Mad TV
I know.
got almost, I think,
I'm
is
telling you, I have
long
teenagers, and they would look at you blankly.
That's true.
run. They'd be
say-
like,
Wait, what's a Kenny Rogers?
TV? You mean the thing I play video games on? The thing my dad makes me watch?
Well, I think stoners. He was because of what condition my condition was in as part of the Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah.
He'll have a place in stoner lore because of that.
I guess, but it's not like that song came out and a bunch of people unearthed all these like classic weirdos. That was such a one-off song that even now I think I still have to be reminded of. Oh yeah, that was Kenny Rogers. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget. It's not like there was an album that was on of all these weird hits. Like, for example, her Satanic Majesty's Second Request. You remember the album that was the response to? I think it would have been
Sgt.
Rolling
Pepper's.
Stones.
Sgt. Pepper, right? So
yeah,
thank you. It was Rolling Stones' response to the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper, right? And the album went nowhere. Everybody forgot about all those songs. One of them shows up in a Wes Anderson movie, and people start going, "Hey, there's actually some cool tracks in it. They don't sound like your traditional Rolling Stones songs." But I think that actually did introduce a different aspect that people might have forgotten about that band, where this was just like, wow, that was Kenny Rogers? That's weird. Moving on.
Yeah, but what's great is if you see the live clip that's on YouTube, his drummer is an actor who's been in a ton of shit. The minute you see the guy, you go, oh my God, I know that guy from that movie and that movie and that movie. He's that guy.
Kenny Rogers' drummer?
In what was the name of the band that did what condition my condition's in? It wasn't Kenny Rogers.
The first edition. Is it the first?
Yes.
Yeah.
Something edition, not new edition. That's Candy Girl.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. But anyways, yeah. It's and I'm like, okay, what are the odds?
Yeah. Kenny Rogers in the first edition.
The two people out of this that's after they had some success.
Yeah.
That's how that always works.
Ha.
But two people in this know-nothing one-hit wonder band went on to become, that guy to where I'm telling you, if you pull up a picture of the guy, You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He's got long red hair and a beard. He always plays a redneck, like a yokel. And he's just drumming his ass off in the live video. And Kenny Rogers looking like Kenny Rogers when he's... Has he always been old?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I
He's
don't
gray hair
know.
since he's 27.
Are you serious?
No, I'm just...
Or are you making joke? I don't know, because it seems like I'm trying to picture what he would look like as a younger guy, and I have no idea what that is.
The guy's name is Mickey Jones Rich, and absolutely, this guy he was a biker, he was a redneck. I think he was in Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Yeah, and he died in 2018. R.I.P. Mickey Jones.
Oh,
You look
shit.
up Kenny Rogers on Google image search, and there's only one picture where he doesn't have gray in his hair, and he still has a big-ass beard and everything.
He was born with a beard. Came out of his mom's pussy with a beard.
Right.
I'm telling you, dude. He had to. He's always been old. Always.
His music, though, I've become more familiar since I've been married to my wife, because she was raised on 70s country music. So, I mean, every time Adam Carolla goes on a Kenny Rogers rant, it's like, yeah, dude, I hear you. I hear that song a million times.
So does Kenny Rogers have music that sounds more traditionally country?
Well, yeah, like
the stuff that we know, I understand that he came from country, but the stuff that I know from the radio is just pop music.
Oh, yeah, songs like Lucille and oh God, what else? The Gambler, obviously.
Yeah, and that's kind of got that cowboy thing to it, but still, it's just a pop song, right?
I can't believe all the shit that comes up. My wife listens to it. I got to look this shit up. It's late.
But he was at one time more of a traditional country artist.
Yes. Oh, Coward of the County.
There you go. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Didn't he have like "Don't Take Your Love to Town"
Through the
Wasn't that,
years?
like,
Yeah.
one of his-
Lucille.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, that Ruby.
You're right.
Ruby, don't take your love to town.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's he has a line in about the crazy Asian war?
What?
Canceled. Yeah, there's a song. There's a line in Ruby about like the crazy Asian war took his legs or something like that. Because the song's about Ruby, like is married to him, but she goes to town to get fucked because he can't fuck her because the bottom half of his body don't work because Vietnam fucked it up. There you go, kids. There's Ruby. Summed up for you.
Well, Ruby shares her side of the story, which is that Kenny refused to shave his beard. So
You can't shave what you were born with.
Yeah. It's like
Okay,
asking you to
that
shave your nutsack,
doesn't
Aaron.
work, then that's all he's got, right?
That picture I sent you guys is like of him in his mid-20s, according to it, and he looks like he's in his 40s, maybe even 50s.
Yeah, totally.
Like he's not gray.
That's the video that when wife watches him play Ruby. This is the video. That's a still from that video. It's a live performance.
Okay.
Yeah, my man always had a beard. Apparently,
But nobody looked young in the 70s, did they?
yeah, everyone looked 45, even when you were 27.
Everyone went from 12 to 35, like instantly. They, as teenagers, they start sprouting chest hair and all this shit, growing big ass mustaches.
Yeah, what is the processed food? Does it suppress our pubes? No, wait. I think we've talked. It's hormones in the milk, right? It's something that fucked at us. Whatever. Different
Oh, the soy and everything.
Yeah. What's suppressing us?
I don't know if it fucked us up. I mean, I don't want to be a big, hairy 70s
I mean,
dude.
like you just said, there used to be 13-year-olds with full beards in the 70s, and we don't have that shit anymore. What happened?
Yeah. Yo, watch Welcome Back, Kotter. None of those guys look like they're in
What we
fucking
don't
high
know is that
school.
picture that Rich sent to us, Kenny Rogers, 17 years old. All right, we don't have that anymore.
And he's looking like he cleaned up at the bear night at the gay bar, man. Seriously, he'd do well.
Oh, yeah.
No, but Rich, I know what you're saying. And Aaron, I know what you're saying. People used to look. What happened?
I don't know. It's just
It's something in the food. It's something in the food or the water or both.
People live better now for all the fuck ups and all the
That's true. People don't start smoking when they're 8 anymore.
Exactly, better skin.
You don't have
Even-
5 years
even-
of smoking in by the time you start high school.
even go back 10, 15 years and watch movies and television shows, and when you see someone who doesn't have like Olympic, Arctic white teeth that are perfectly straight, perfectly even, completely top and bottom, like you notice it and you go, look at her teeth. That's the way teeth are supposed to look. Teeth aren't supposed to look like big fake fucking dentures in your mouth. Teeth are not supposed to be blindingly white. There's a whole Friends episode about that. You know, did we learn nothing in the 90s? Like, seriously, it's just, you don't smoke, you don't drink at such a, younger age, or you're not exposed to it. Supposedly your skin looks better too. I don't know. Aaron's got the nicest skin out of us all. Did your parents smoke around you, Aaron?
No.
There you go.
He's like, no. There you go. Shit, I think my mom put a pack of fucking Salem's in my fucking crib with me. Here, that'll shut you up. Suck on those. Look, he likes them. Get that bottle of whiskey out of there. Start him off on something easy. Beer. There you go.
Nice.
But yeah, 81. And did they ever say what took him out, or is it just the good old natural causes?
Well, wasn't he supposed to die at Christmas?
81 has looked 40 since he was 17 years old and runs a fried chicken place. Like, I think we can put those factors together and figure out what did him in eventually.
AIDS.
Yes.
He lost control of his car because he had AIDS.
He had greasy fingers. Steering wheel slipped.
Well, and speaking of soon-to-be dead people.
Oh, okay.
Everybody's favorite convicted rapist who used to run Miramax. There's only like one of them, right?
Oh, gosh.
Harvey Weinstein tested positive for the coronavirus.
Got the corona.
Now, he's no longer at Rikers. They moved him to a medical facility.
How many actual days has this motherfucker spent in a jail cell? Because he had his fake heart attack after his...
I don't buy it, first of all.
Yeah. He had his fake heart attack after his sentencing, or after his conviction, and he spent, 2-3 weeks in the hospital before he got sent to Rikers.
Ever since it was undeniable that this was, serious shit that wasn't going away, he suddenly came down with the same shit with Bill Cosby. Suddenly I'm an old man.
Suddenly I'm unsighted.
Oh, I can't walk or see very well right now. I guess if that shadow on the stand is the young woman that you say that she is, I'll have to take your word for it.
Well, if they're bullshitting about him testing positive for the virus, he's got some pull somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Because why would they bullshit about that? I mean, so and he's been bunk. That's what. See, what I'm thinking is, here's where that karma comes and bites you in the ass. You fake a sickness to get out of sitting in Rikers on the main line. So you go to the triage unit, the medical unit, and then you actually get sick because you're around motherfuckers who are sick. And now you got shit that's going to kill you. Like, his odds are not very good at his age and his health.
Those odds are better than, getting shanked by some guy who does it for the likes.
I'd say
you don't think he's a high candidate for prison shanking just from being so high profile?
Oh, no, absolutely. I'm just saying, I think his odds of surviving having the virus right now are slimmer than his odds of surviving the yard.
I think his odds are high, but I think he is. I don't think he gets put in with the Gen Pop, if you get my drift. I think he can spread a little money around. He's not exactly. I think he's probably able to spread enough money around to be taken care of. Or since he's so high profile, he's kept away from the Gen Pop.
That's what I'm saying. He might have been able to pull that, which would buy him some time. Because it's 23 years. All you got is time, baby. That's it. If someone wants to take him out, they just got to be patient about it. But this shit, I mean, it's he's in that age range where they're talking less than 30% of people recover, and he's got pre-existing conditions, right? Isn't that what his lawyers were trying to convince us of? So we're going to find out how many of those were real and how many were bullshit. That motherfucker pulls through it, and we lose Tom Hanks. I swear to God.
No, Tom Hanks is fine. Tom Hanks, I believe, is already recovered.
Well, I understand that Harvey is irredeemable, but it's still fun to watch the absurdity of all these people on Twitter that are like, you know, this is a serious outbreak, a pandemic that we're going through, and we all need to pull together and we need to not point fingers, and we not choose sides and not make this political. And oh, Harvey got it. Where's my favorite dance gif?
Right.
Ooh, celebration. I'm like, okay, I understand you don't give a shit. He's still a person, though, right?
Dude, man, come on, dude. No, hold on. I got to call bullshit on you. You weren't with this for this show. When we started talking about Rush Limbaugh having stage 4 lung cancer, you're like, good. Fuck that motherfucker.
I did, yes. Yeah.
So we all have that one person that just makes us just not forget our humanity.
Rush Limbaugh's stage 4 lung cancer wasn't bearing down on all of us. That's the one variable. Right. Whatever. I'm a shit stirrer. Sorry. Ignore me.
I'm with you. Look, I'm not against taking my own personal glee at other person's misery, but I don't know.
I can say this.
I'm not preaching ELE either.
I can say
everybody
this.
love everybody.
I would be terrified if I was in a county, state, city jail, like a major city jail, and just sitting there. I would be fucking terrified. Of all the places you want to catch this shit, prison and jail is not one of them.
Oh,
because they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the medical staff isn't exactly going to try in a place like that. Might actually make some room.
I'd be trying to wear like every jumpsuit that I could have issued to me at one time, just to build up layers.
It would work for you because you could start with like probably a large and then move to an extra large and then put enough extra large to a 2X, 3X. Me, I'm just like, hey, you got Omar the tent maker back there to make mine for me. Because I'm fucked. I just throw a sheet over my shoulders. That way they don't try to titty fuck me while I walk through the hallway. You know what I'm saying?
So Omar the tent maker.
It's Rich's boy. He tries to plug him a lot.
That's who makes my custom clothes for me.
All right. Well,
you big man, we just cut a hole in the middle of the tent and put it over your head. You're good to go.
That's a good note to
I didn't know you were holding out on me. You got to introduce me to your tent maker guy sometime.
You want a tent You want a tent? I get you a tent by 3:00 this afternoon.
There's something you want a toe? I'll get you a toe. Toe ain't hard to get. There's something very Big Lebowski about the way you said that.
No, that was it. That's what I was doing. You want toe?
Oh,
I'll get you toe by 3:00 this afternoon. Do you want painted or unpainted? All right. Well, that's a good note to go out on. All right. So, yeah, we're going to try this daily. Well, like I said, we're all #alone together. Whatever. It works. We're going to try this. We're going to keep them short, but why not? See how this goes. Make sure you check us out wherever you hear the podcasts. We're at Unregimented Pod, by the way, on Twitter, unregimented at ChristopherMedia.net. If you want to email us, at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, ChristopherMedia.net. If you like it, share it. Let's get some dialogue going on social media since we're going to be doing a daily show. If you disagree with us, tell us. If you agree with us, tell us. I don't know. Like I said, on Twitter, at @Regimented_pod. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you tomorrow.
See ya.
Later, guys.
unregimented.
ChristopherMedia.net. ChristopherMedia.net.
If you like this show, please tell a friend. Please make sure to rate and comment on all your favorite Christopher Media shows. Please follow us on Twitter and like and share us on Facebook. You can subscribe to all ChristopherMedia.net shows for free on ChristopherMedia.net. Thank you for listening, and thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.
Thank you for visiting ChristopherMedia.net.